Hello, welcome to Quest for the Worst, where we seek out the worst movie ever made. If you would like to leave me a recommendation, tweet me at hannahlee with the hashtag Quest for the Worst. Today we're watching Naomi and Ely's Not Infinite playlist. No Kiss List. Wrong movie. Quirky name and quirky names list of something. Starring Victoria Justice and some guy. So we start out with some voiceover narration and we learn that Naomi is a pathological liar and her GBF Ely is an enabler. They mention the no kiss list easily like 15 times in the first 5 minutes of the movie and I still don't know what it is or why it exists. In the voiceover she's listing all the things that she lies to these different people about, and the last thing on her list is that she lies to Ely. Let me get a quote. And I lied to Ely about being okay with gay. I am, just not for him. So she's in love with her gay best friend, I guess. Oh my god, it's Taylor from High School Musical. Time for a backstory dump. Naomi and Ely grew up next door to each other and had a whole best friend situation, a lot like the kissing booth. I already hate this. Ely has two mothers because being gay is a family trait, and one of them has an affair with Naomi's dad. So Naomi's parents split up, but Eli stayed married. Naomi goes to class because she's in college, and the professor calls her out for like zoning out during lecture, and then she calls Eli frantic after class. You have to come meet me right now. Someone disapproved of me. I am going into hysterics. I am having a nervous breakdown. And Eli is like, I'm busy being gay right now, and he is, and she insists that he come anyway, and he's like, okay, and that's codependency, and that's not cool, that needs to stop. She literally chases her own boyfriend away from her table at the coffee shop because she's waiting for Eli. They hang out, and then they add this random guy that they see playing basketball to the no kiss list, and we still don't understand what the list is for. Eli gets a text message from one of his moms trying to get him to come back home for dinner so that it's not awkward because she's having dinner with her wife, and they're mad at each other. Just get a divorce. Naomi's mom is like high AF on the couch looking at pictures of herself from before Naomi was born and like heavily insinuating that she wishes she could go back to a time before Naomi was born. The hot guy that was playing basketball that they put on the no kiss list is also the doorman of their building. And there's another kid that lives in the building who's obsessed with Naomi, who's named Bruce. But also her boyfriend is named Bruce, so they call them Bruce 1 and Bruce 2, and they already look extremely similar, and I don't know why they did this with their names. So there's Bruce 1 and 2 and the doorman, who I guess are all romantic interests for Naomi, and then there's gay Eli. Okay, we're caught up. Naomi gets upset and goes to Eli's room in the middle of the night and then is really upset when he's not there, and then he comes back late from hooking up with someone, and she's like, how dare you be a homosexual? Harold. They have a weird conversation about how she hasn't slept with her boyfriend yet. She decides that she will, so she sets up a date with Bruce 1 or 2, whichever one her boyfriend is. They both have glasses. They're both little white boys. Anyway, she sets up a date with her boyfriend with the intent to sleep with him afterward, and Eli goes with them. I'm placing my bets now that Eli and boyfriend Bruce are going to hook up, and boyfriend Bruce just suggested that they go to a film festival, so I think that's a pretty safe bet. She and boyfriend Bruce try to do later, but it doesn't work out, almost like they're both in love with a gay man. Maybe she'll end up with the doorman because he's on the no kiss list, and I feel like that might be like a dramatic climax for this pointless movie. Sidebar, she pulls a stack of like 25 envelopes out of her mailbox and like refers to them all being bills. What on earth are they paying for? She also finds a cassette tape in the mailbox, and she calls it an archaic contraption because she's smart, but in like a cool, secret way. She goes into her apartment and finds her mom busting out a wall with a sledgehammer, and she's like, oh my god, my mom is unstable. Yeah, so she runs to the streets for some reason, calling for Eli in New York. He'll hear. Then she goes into a nightclub that he happens to be in, and finds him and is like, how dare you not be readily available for me during a time of crisis? And he's like, we out here having a good time, homie. And she's like, you're right. And they dance for a while, like she just forgot that she was having a crisis. I guess she's over it, but then Eli starts making out with a boy, and she runs away to the Bruce who she's dating's dorm room. And they still don't do anything. Taylor from High School Musical's name is Robin, and she finds a boy that she likes named Robin, and they're gonna boff. I don't remember what led up to this scene or what's happening, but this movie's budget is so small they could only afford 4 names. Oh my god, she's going to give girl Robin a makeover to seduce boy Robin. She's wearing glasses, so she's the perfect victim for a makeover. There's a music video in the middle of this movie with like an old film filter, and there's not really a plot to it or a point. It's just Victoria Justice walking around to the music. But then Bruce, the boyfriend, is filming her, so I guess the suggestion is that he's been following her around the city, videoing her. And then she sits down on a bench with him and just starts spilling about all of her awkward family history with her dad cheating on her mom with a lesbian that we already knew about. This is about the third time we've heard it. It's really awkward, and he films the whole thing. Okay. Boyfriend Bruce and Eli end up having like a moment about comic books, and Eli isn't wearing a shirt, and they're gonna make out, and they're making out. Naomi and Eli's no kiss list. Subtitle: All gays are treacherous dirtbags. The guilt is eating Eli alive, so he tells Naomi all about it, and she's like, shrug, no big. Obvs, it's a big. They're getting ready to go out for Halloween, and boyfriend Bruce shows up at Eli's apartment like he didn't know that they had plans. When he references their plans, and Eli lets him in, even though he knows Naomi is about to show up. And then Naomi shows up, so he makes Bruce hide in the closet. And then they're leaving for their party, and he's just like, yo, Bruce, hang out in here. I'm gonna go out for Halloween. I'll be back at like 5 a.m. I will be blackout, but you know, we'll have a good time. Read a comic book. See ya. By the time they get from the elevator to the lobby, Naomi has somehow figured out that Bruce is upstairs, and they have the most awkward fight scene ever. But she ends up with Robin, and we're gonna have our makeover sequence. The doorman invites Naomi over to see his band because he's a cool kid. I wonder who left her the cassette tape. Probably the musician, but they don't give Robin a makeover. She goes to the concert in like sweatpants and her nerdy nerd glasses. Naomi is actually too self-absorbed to give her geeky friend a makeover in this D-list movie that by law is required to have a makeover sequence. That's actually the most effective characterization I've seen so far. So the doorman guy asks her out a few times, and she's just like spiraling into alcoholism for a few weeks. Eli is still dating Bruce, and they're actually pretty cute. Then Naomi and Naomi and Eli have like this big falling out in the hotel lobby, and then they set a date to finish their friendship at their coffee shop. So they both bring boxes of each other's belongings and exchange them. Don't know why they couldn't do this across the hall where they live. They brought the stuff to the... I don't know. Naomi has a big fit again. Her mom is still in a depressive episode, despite Naomi bringing her a latte one time at 4 in the afternoon. I don't know why that didn't fix it. Naomi punches a wall or something and hurts her finger, and the doorman like bandages it up, and she's like, we gonna bang, and he's like, yo, homie, you a wreck right now, so let's not, but rain check. Makeover sequence! Robin's vision is healed. Thank God. Naomi gets a job, which is what she should have done a long time ago when she's living in New York with her invalid mother and going to college, and her father stopped paying child support because she's an adult now. But better late than never, I guess. It's all in like this little self-improvement montage, which the character has not earned, and no one is buying, but sure. The doorman pours his heart out to Naomi about how he felt the first day he saw her. And hold on, let me get this quote. Are you ready for this quote? I don't think you are. That night felt like the first day of the end of my life. That's horrible. That sounds truly unpleasant. Why is he with her? It sounds like he thinks that she cursed him. His days are numbered. So the awkward conversation between Naomi and Bruce when he was filming her talk about her parents splitting up comes back when he shows the footage that he took to Eli. The connection between how her father cheated on her mother with her mother's friend and how that destroyed her mom with how Eli cheated with her boyfriend, but like the whole fact was that it was Eli doing it. The boyfriend didn't really matter. Anyway, we make that connection. It's a big stretch, but we made it here, and we're almost to a resolution, so we're not going to complain about it. She runs to her mother and is like, wake up! He's not coming back! And like screams at her a lot, and I guess her mom is going to be okay now. She just needed someone to yell at her, and probably a latte. She's good to go. So Naomi makes up with Eli and makes out with the doorman, and Eli's making out with the Bruce, and then the other Bruce is just going off sad because no one's making up or out with him. So the moral of the story is that men and women can just be friends, providing one or both of them is gay. And the lines are still incredibly blurred, and the gay one is going to cheat on you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for a new video every Thursday, and super duper thanks to my patrons, including Matt. I met Matt when I was 12 playing Tribal Wars. You can find him on Instagram at MattYayo. Also, check out a new tab Chrome extension that he made called Mortality. It's as disturbing as you're likely imagining it to be, but it's supposed to be motivating. It's free. Link in the description. Thanks, Matt. Worried about you, Matt. I can't speak most of the time. That's a big old truck. Hey boy, where you going? Gonna haul some stuff to the galvanizing plant.